Hello everybody and welcome to TradeStation's Market Review. My name's Simon Clarke from Trade with Precision and I'll be discussing some of the key markets of interest right now. Now if we take a look at the mini Dow future, last week we're looking at the market just underneath the 17,000 level and we're looking for evidence of strength for the market to break 17,000 and move on long. Now the market's now moved up to this sort of other level, or we've got a couple of other levels here that we identified as potential market structure levels, 17,200 and around 17,400. The market's now just underneath 17,200. So what now? Well, we can still see that we've got evidence of convergence here on our indicators, so just indicating still we've got potential strength in this trend. But if we notice how far stretched from the moving averages the market is, it's about as stretched as it gets over the recent sort of trend structure here. So and that being up against a level here, we would, a pullback into 17,000 for example on the daily looks very nice, but I'm not sure if we would get that. However, if we start to come down the time frames, and we can start to take a look at the lower time frames and start to see what else we've got here. Now on the 4-hour chart, we can just see the structure of this trend, just looking very, very nice. Very clear moving averages, very clear geometry of the market, and again, no obvious strong divergence with our indicators too. We've obviously had some news here which has caused this volatility in the market, but once that's now played out, the market's now back into a clear structured trend. So we've got our 17,200 level up there, and we can see that on the intraday time frames the market started to test that a couple of times. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking at that level as a potential decision point in the market. And I've come down to the 60-minute chart here, and what I'm doing is I'm starting to, if I sort of mark my level in here just around 17,200, we can see that the market's come up here once, come up here twice. We're now at the third time that we're sort of testing, well, just underneath that 17,200 level. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a break of that level. So one or two things is going to happen here. Either the market's going to find resistance here and the market's going to roll over, and for that I'm going to be starting to look at the indicators here to look to see if we get any divergence between price hitting the level and our indicators. If we get a break through the level, decisive break through the level, then I'll be looking for obviously opportunities long up towards that sort of 17,400 level. Okay, so the next one that I want to take a look at is, and certainly the pick of my metals at the moment, is copper. Now, looking here at copper, a few weeks ago we looked at a break through the 2015 level. We looked at that move up here towards 2,300, and then being overextended we were looking for a pullback. Now the market's now sort of pulled back, and we've got a sort of a consolidation just around this 2,200 level, and if I just sort of zoom out of this, you can start to see it's rather an interesting level that's been tested in the past, and now the market's finding a sort of a floor at that level at this moment in time. Otherwise, sort of indicators look okay, and even on the weekly chart we've now turned around into an uptrend as well. But we do have to be mindful that even here on the monthly chart we can see, if I open up the monthly, we've got a very clear downtrend on the monthly, and the market's just pulling back into that 10-period moving average. And note that every time it sort of pulls back into that zone, it seems to find new momentum and the downtrend continues. So need to be a little bit mindful that we've got the monthly chart here probably coming into that area of a potential turnaround. So what I'm doing is I'm coming down to the lower time frames, and if we come down to the 4-hour chart for example, we can see that on the 4-hour I've marked in this 2,200 level, and the market's tested this a good number of times now, so it's certainly finding support here, and we saw that this level was significant on the daily as well. So for me, this is a key decision point area. If 2,200 gets broken to the downside, I think we can easily be starting to look for moves, intraday moves down here towards the congestion down here, probably sort of 2,100 area, back to that 2,150 area that we were looking at on the daily. If we find support here, then I think we can easily get a move back up towards 2,300 and maybe beyond as well. So again, looking at the indicators here, they're just agreeing with current sort of price action and keeping an eye on this sort of level for trading opportunities in either direction. Now, if we take a look at the Aussie dollar here, Aussie dollar on the as a currency future, we can see again we've got a rather interesting market structure here. So looking on the monthly chart, we can see that the market has broken sort of clearly above the previous high in the market. So potential trend change here coming in on the monthly. We're not there yet, but we are there on the weekly. So weekly is now sort of turned around in trend, starting to make new highs, and of course here on the daily we have as well. So the daily's got a very nice chart structure here. Moving averages in the right order. We've got nice convergence here on the indicators as well, and we've got the pullback into the moving averages at this moment in time. So what I want to do is start to look for any potential sort of areas of market structure here that could support price. We've got a level here at 74, and if you just sort of zoom out of this, you can see 74 is quite a significant level. It's been tested many times before, certainly found support here many times before. So markets now pulling back to that level, it may find found resistance before, it may find support again here. So what I'm looking for is to see whether 74 holds, and then of course we're looking for a continuation of the trend long. If 74 gets broken, then I think we could be looking for a deeper pullback. So again, coming down to the lower time frames and come down to the 4-hour chart here, I'm marking my level here at around 74. We can see how many times the market sort of tested this level. So from the uptrend, the market's now, or from the high I should say, the market's now sort of pulled right the way back, and you can see this 74 level also corresponds with the previous low in the 4-hour trend. So 74 gets broken, then this level here, the trend changes effectively on the intraday time frames, and we could be looking for a deeper pullback down here, possibly down here towards sort of 72 as sort of first area, and then maybe sort of 71. We've certainly got a couple of levels through here too. So that's what I'm looking at here on Aussie dollar as well. Okay, so let me tell you about the webinar events that we've got running here at TradeStation over the sort of coming weeks. If you come to the TradeStation International website and then come over to the webinars tab, you can find a range of resources here, from the webinar schedules to recorded previous webinars, and also the market commentaries too. So you'll see here that the next one that we have running is on Wednesday the 23rd of March. That's next Wednesday. It's predictive technical analysis techniques. So what we're looking at here is more advanced technical analysis techniques in order to be able to build our trading decisions in the markets and look for those strategy entries. So if you'd like to join us for this webinar, it's a 1-hour event. It's completely free of charge to join. All you need to do is to come to the website, fill in your details here and register. Okay, well, hope you found it useful. Look forward to speaking to you next time, and look forward to speaking to you then. Bye for now.